Hey everybody, it's your girl Miss Cherie. I'm out here just doing a few updates live with you. As usual, I'm gonna try to hop right into it because I got things to get done this evening too. But first and foremost, thanks you guys for your support. When you come in, as usual, I'm gonna need you guys to go ahead, like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, like my page, follow my page so you know when I go live or post any thing going on. So of course, just hopping it right into this, I was going to talk about Ice Cube's attempt to get a black agenda from the presidential candidates. I was also going to discuss Tory Lanez going live about the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation after he already created an album. Also, we're going to talk about the Pope endorsing same-sex marriages. So I'm going to hop right into it. So first, we're going to talk about Ice Cube's attempt to get a black agenda in front of the presidential candidates. Now, what I find interesting, I love the fact that Ice Cube went ahead and tried to get some form of agenda that's supposed to be representative of the needs of all Black people in America. I definitely applaud him using his celebrity, not for his own self-serving needs or make himself look good, but he's just trying to put a foot forward into some form of solution. And when I say Black people hopped on him and ripped him apart, and he even was on Twitter. So many people, he made a Twitter comment about show him someone who's qualified, who actually does bring policies forward and get them heard. So of course you got all these public policy people who got degrees in it. It's hard to get that attention on Twitter. At least I'm not as active as I should be on Twitter, but I kind of agree with them. I get there are some people who make it to Capitol Hill, get to present at Capitol Hill and get some policy heard, but that's in front of like a huge room of senators and things like that. And I'm not knocking them. That's great that they were able to get their voices heard and get in front of those people. But the point is, it's being heard, but is it really reaching them? And I'm not saying they're doing anything bad. I'm saying that anyone doing the work of getting policies, especially policies that are needed for people in need, like Black people or any other group, it's very important to capture the ear of the appropriate people. Now, people talk about policies. I've never heard of these people. Not saying that they're famous, not saying that you need to be famous. But when you have a famous person who made an attempt like Ice Cube, why is it that these same people who are bragging about their credentials when he asked, how about they could have joined forces with him and helped him develop a better policy plan with more specific things to do? Yes, Zach, this is early. Hey, Mom. Yeah, this is early for my show. But as far as Ice Cube goes, definitely what we want to do is support that. The whole goal and idea of bringing anything to politicians is about being together, cohesive. That's the reason why when you bring certain concerns to them, they want so many signatures to show that there's some sort of support. It's a look. I think they give people a listen because of their celebrity status, because they don't want to seem like they're shunning someone who's trying to bring them some, especially someone with such a high audience. But at the same time, joining together is the time, not to go against somebody that's trying their best to put a foot forward and getting something done for us. Now, granted, the only thing that I didn't like was he did mention that, oh, Trump did something. I'm like, all Trump did was kind of copy and paste and tweak what he already typed out. And, and they reposted that to make it seem like that they were paying attention to what he said. His camp really didn't do anything. Hey, Anthony, as Zach said, the Black agenda starts in the mirror. Michael Jackson saying that. Yes, it starts with the person, yourself, as long as you're contributing to your community. But at the same time, each individual needs to come together collectively for anything to happen. No one individual could come into their alderman or alderwoman's office and say, XYZ needs to be done in my neighborhood. It needs to be multiple people coming in talking about the same thing for any sort of action to happen. So yes, certain changes in behavior happens with the individual, but a collective needs to come together for anything to happen on a local level, state level, national level. And that's what we lack. We lack any cohesive nature of getting things done. And also, just to throw in there, since we're talking about elections and politicians like that, another thing is, as much as I preach about voting, and some people say, oh, my votes don't count, votes alone don't work. You vote these people in, bug the shit out of them for what we need. So many people vote and say, I'm going to wait and see what they do. No, you vote them in, they get in, you go in there, and you tell them what we need. They'll all do that song and dance. And if you voted for them based on some type of agenda that they proposed during the election cycle, hold them to that. That it's as simple as that. So many people, I preach this all the time because local politics impacts you first. How many people know where their alderwoman or alderman's office is? How many people know when they have an open day? Every alderman office has a day. It's a community day where anybody can walk in, sign in on a sheet, and they will call you as you came in. First come, first serve, where you can bring your personal issues to them, if they can help you with your business, if there's any programs that they know about, if you're trying to push something through. The alderman's office, it doesn't hurt to go visit. It doesn't. If there is something that they can help you with, they can. And we all got to remember that the aldermen are all part of the city council. They specifically meet with the mayor every single time. So if there's anything that you want to bring forth to them and the mayor reports, the whole spiel. And also what people don't know is your state representative is usually in the same office as the alderman. That's another tidbit. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. Most of the time they kind of are, kind of keep it together. But knowing where they are, who they are, and how to contact them to get your concerns heard is the best thing. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of sort of get off the soapbox there. I just feel like we could be more supportive of what Ice Cube attempted to do and really band together, because at least he got some momentum. He got in front of somebody. He got some sort of a response. Is it the response we wanted? No. Is it the response we expected? Yes, I expected that. I expect for people to say, oh, I can't answer XYZ until after the election. They'll say anything to avoid something, but after the election, they don't expect the question to come up again either. And that's partly our fault, because we don't. We elect people and then we leave it alone and leave them to their own devices instead of forcing them to abide by what we need, our specific needs. So that part is all of our fault, because I don't think it's enough of us actually making our voices heard. So next, we're going to move right along to Tory Lanez. Now, as much as I don't particularly like talking about this because it's just a whole mess, Tory Lanez went live to discuss the Megan Thee Stallion situation. The reason why I'm on my soapbox about this one is because, first of all, we know for a fact he shot Megan Thee Stallion. Nobody else really, unless this is gonna be a Scooby-Doo moment where it's not really Tory Lanez. It was somebody else getting a Tory Lanez mask. It was Tory Lanez. Okay. And guarantee you, if this goes to court, I think he has a court date related to this. I'm pretty sure there's cameras somewhere, because you can't tell me these super ritzy people don't have security systems with all these intricate camera systems where they could have caught that shooting on camera. So the girl gets shot in the foot. He's not saying he didn't do it, but he also didn't say he did it. So he came on IG Live and basically said a lot of nothing. And he's just mad that people are upset with him. So he's trying to spin it to make it sound like he's not against Black women. So he's trying to say that due to his music that's all about Black love and Black women, and his videos having Black women in it instead of light-skinned Black girls, he has dark-skinned Black girls and all this other stuff, that somehow he cares about Black women. And that doesn't really mean that he cares about Black women. It's called, he's marketing his music to a genre of people who will listen to it. So you're benefiting from Black women is what it really is. And then he wants to pander to say, oh, my mom's a Black woman, and the day I came out with that album was the day my mama died. And what else was he saying? The day my mama died, and it was also her birthday. So he's trying to get sympathy for himself and draw attention away from the shooting and draw attention away from the situation. So it wasn't an admission of guilt. It was not an I'm sorry to Meg. It wasn't an apology to Megan. It was literally coming up with all these excuses. But here's my problem. I listened to that album. All it was full of songs of him taking pot shots at people. And he made a couple of songs about the situation of him shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. And also another thing he said in that video was he still considers Megan Thee Stallion a friend. And Megan Thee Stallion basically said F you, like this dude crazy. So to me, it's a severe disconnect because given the fact that if one of my friends shoot me in the foot, I guarantee you we ain't friends. We are no longer friends. That friendship is dead. So that's some classic toxic abusive type behavior to shoot somebody in the foot, try to act like it didn't happen, trying to make yourself a victim, and then on top of that try to say we still friends after you do something like shoot her in the foot. It's a lot of nerve, but I understand that his PR people probably got him to flip it or something. He's gotten some sort of consultation from somebody, but it came too little too late. But we also know that it's not the same thing. It's really not. It's yeah, Zach Scooby-Doo. Like he's really for real acting like he didn't do it. Like I don't know who did it. Like nah, bruh. Who else did it? Because the other people got out the car with Megan. They saw her get shot in the foot by you. Everyone's saying it's you, and then you finally get an opportunity to speak, and you say a whole lot of nothing. Inexcusable. It was crazy, and there was no purpose for it. So anyway. But I just want to point out how toxic it was for him to even do that live, because it's like my mom was a Black woman and she died, and it was her birthday and the day that she died, and I love Black women. I don't understand why people think I'm against Black women. People tend to think that when you shoot a Black woman, all that goes out the window. So I don't understand why he gets it. But anyway, let me get off this because I'm gonna get mad. So the next subject I want to run over real quick is the Pope endorses same-sex marriage. So if anybody has ever watched any podcast that I've been on, whether it was the Bobby Morelli show or this one, I don't get to talk much about LGBTQ community concerns as much on here because I have been consumed with political stuff. And the one thing I want to say here is this is an excellent move because the Catholic Church, the Pope is the head of the Catholic Church, and he's endorsing same-sex marriage. Now, I understand what the Bible says before any Bible thumpers get on here and talk about thus saith the Lord and same-sex marriage and same-sex anything is an abomination. So is infidelity. So is adultery, infidelity, premarital sex, all that stuff that everybody does. Also is having kids at a wedding. Like if you've done any of that, you have no, honey, you can't cast any stones. None. So you're sinning just because you sin differently from someone who is gay doesn't make you any better. So you can't sit up throwing Bible scriptures at somebody who's gay when you got kids out of wedlock, or you got 6 kids by 6 baby mamas or baby daddies. You can't sit up and throw the Bible at somebody if you having sex with this person, and this person, and you're not married, you're sleeping around, or you're married and you're sleeping around. Everybody sins differently, but the point is a sin is a sin is a sin is a sin. And the Pope's endorsement comes with the explanation that we're all God's children, which is true, and which is the way I feel all churches should be. You have no business really shunning anyone because they're coming for God's glory. And at the end of the day, exactly, mama, killing and stealing too. You commit murders, you thieving, you doing a whole bunch of stuff. So how can you sit up and really judge another person for how they're living without taking a strong look in the mirror and see if you're living your life right? Because trust and believe, none of us are living our life right. None of us are sinless. So we have no business judging them and throwing the Bible at gays and lesbians or anybody else part of the LGBTQ community. We really can't. everybody's wrong in this world. Trust me. None of us are like Jesus. You have every right to try to be Christ-like, but the one thing Christ never did while he was on this earth was judge anyone. He didn't damn anybody to hell. That's y'all. He ain't damn nobody to hell. He let a lot of sinners close to him. They were, he consulted with them, treated him like human beings. So why should we as Christians be any different? So I am definitely happy to hear that the Pope endorses same-sex marriage, because it has to start at somebody's church. It has, and at the Catholic Church level, it's really a big thing, because, like I said, a lot of them are definite. They love the Lord as well as anybody else, any other Christian. So I really don't understand how so many people can judge them, but I am so happy to hear this. And I hope that community is crying or happy with joy and everything about that, because that's a big step, because that's one of the most difficult things that many of them have with coming out, because many parents or family members are so deeply religious that they'll shun them because of the Bible or because of their religion. And yeah, it for me it's just a no. I love everybody as much as they love me, and that's as well as I can take it. And before I go to my request for volunteers, I do my requests at the end of my show. So first, just want to talk about my code for BLK. My website is right here for BLK, or you can just go to blk.com and order whatever you like and use my code Marcherie D. I am drinking BLK water now. I have been drinking it, so the reason why I really hadn't pushed the advertisement of this is just because I wanted to try it. So this one, I'm not gonna lie, this flavor I don't particularly care for, and this flavor is the black blueberry. The one I had that I like was a strawberry rhubarb, and then it was this dirty lemonade. That was really good. This one, the black blueberry, if you can get around getting that, it tastes like medicine to me, but I'm gonna drink it. It's still refreshing. It has fulvic acid along with a lot of other amino acids and things with other health benefits. Has a ton of health benefits, such as things with it helps with inflammation. It helps with immunity. It helps support your immune system, energy. What I also do is I have the fulvic acid drops that you can actually add into your own water. If you don't want to buy their water, you can at least buy the drops, add it to your own water, or you can add it to any beverage. You just can't add it to chlorinated water, which means it cannot be added to tap water. Most tap water is treated with chlorine, so you can't add it to tap water. But definitely try this. It does bring me a lot of energy. It helps boost a lot of my things. And then they also have bamboo water, which is a lot like a juice. And the bamboo waters do have some calories, because it does have benefits such as for the hair, skin, and nails with the bamboo water. So just hit that website up if you can or if you want to. And then also, last but not least, I need volunteers. I need men and women volunteers. Please volunteer for what I'm trying to do is I want to have a roundtable discussion for women, for us to talk about friendships and relationships and how we feel in general. And more than how we feel, it's going to be on an array of topics of how we support each other as friends, as sisters, as family, how we feel we need to support our men versus how it comes across, and of course our issues and trials in relationships. And if it's a married woman there, of course we want to talk about issues with marriage, and of course gender roles and things like that. I also need male volunteers because I already have Kelvin Gregory, or the aka the fat guy from the Fat Guy Podcast Hour, who will be my guest host for the male roundtable. And of course, he's gonna let loose with the men. Of course, I gotta be present, but I'm gonna be muted myself, and I'm gonna let the guys talk. and whatever that may look like. I'm not gonna lie, for that one I'm a little scared, but once again, we need volunteers who want to go ahead and get online and really discuss these things. Now the roundtables can be scheduled. I usually go online on Wednesdays at 7:30. I'm playing around with the times, but of course, once I get volunteers, I can work out a day and time that works for everyone. And or what I can do is just make it a pre-recorded event. That's no fun though. I don't want to make it a pre-recorded event. I would like for it to be live in case other people want to chime in. But if that's needed, but once again, I need volunteers. I need volunteers. Men and women, single, married, in between, poly, whatever, because I need different perspectives. But I need men and women. We're gonna have separate male roundtable. We're gonna have a women's roundtable, and then we're going to have a combined roundtable. And of course, these men and women need to be Black because I want to heal the relationship or start the conversation about mending the relationships between Black men and Black women. What I want to do is discuss what women need and want, what men need and want, and things like that. And then we want to all bring it together. We want to talk separately amongst ourselves. And then I'm going to take a few people from each roundtable and bring them together on a combined one so we can all have a discussion together. So see if we could find some common ground. So if you want to be involved in that, please, please, please hit me up, chat me. For those who have my phone number, text me, but definitely let me know so I can get this going because I really want to see this happen, guys. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Love you guys, and you have a great one.